Hey guys, Troop66 guy here, doing a video for the Mediocre Pirates 299 sub contest. For the contest, he wants you to tell a time about when you used first aid and what you would do differently, if anything. And to start out, I want to just kind of show my first aid kit real quick. Uh, this is the first aid kit that I had at the time. I had it in my backpack, and this is the one that I carry in my backpack at school. And I've got a full video that I've got explaining all the contents and everything on my profile, and I'll put a link to it. So this is the first aid kit I had in my backpack. I was at breakfast up at school and was left to go to my first hour class. And as I was walking, I went back behind the high school down to the gym, and there was asphalt, and it was slick because it had rained a little bit that morning, and a girl fell and twisted her ankle. So I walk out and I see her sitting there and somebody standing next to her. I walk over and ask her if she's okay, and she's like, "No, I hurt my ankle, blah blah blah." So I'm like, "All right, do you want to get up and move underneath the pavilion?" And she goes, "No, somebody went to go get the nurse and get the wheelchair." So I stood there with her and just kind of sat next to her because I wasn't going to get her up and move her after she said no, because I didn't want liability or whatever. So I was standing there, and then they got the wheelchair, so I helped her up, put her in the wheelchair, and they asked me if I could take her to the nurse over at the junior high school, which is next door, because the high school nurse was sick for the day. So I told him yeah, because I had weight training first hour, and if I missed it, it wouldn't have been too big of a loss, or I wasn't learning anything. So took her over there, went to the nurse's office, and took her in there, and she asked what happened. I said I just walked out, saw she fell, she hurt her ankle. The girl said what happened, so I was standing there, and I had to wait because she needed to fill out the accident report form or whatever for school. So she goes, "Okay, I'm going to wrap up your ankle, and you're going to have to go to the hospital, and we're going to call your dad and everything." So she goes back behind her desk, opens up a drawer, and pulls out an ace bandage that was about that big. Uh, that's about an inch and a half width and was about that big around. So 2-inch diameter. It wasn't very long, wasn't a big ace bandage or anything. So she pulled that out and said, "All right, I'm going to wrap you up your ankle." And I kind of looked at her funny and looked at it, and she told me it was the last one she's got. So I'm like, "All right, just a second." So I took my backpack off, unzipped my backpack, pulled out the first aid kit, unzipped it, and pulled out an ace bandage. This is the smaller one. I had a larger one, but the girl still has it. This was about 2 weeks ago, and she hasn't been back at school yet. Pulled out an ace bandage and a SAM splint. Took the stuff out, got the SAM splint out, wrapped it around her ankle. Put took the ace bandage and started wrapping that around her ankle. The nurse grabbed an ice pad and put it in there with it, and so got her wrapped up. And then the nurse looked at me and asked me if that was my first aid kit, and yeah, and she's like, "Do you always carry that around?" I told her it doesn't do much good if it's sitting at home doing nothing, and she's like, "Well, it comes in pretty handy." So that's one of the times that I had to use my first aid kit, and the medically licensed professional at school didn't have her stuff together, so came in pretty handy. And the next part of the contest is he wants you to discuss what your most carried EDC item is, and mine would probably be my Streamlight Micro Stream, one AAA. Can't remember the output of it. Pretty bright, just one mode. Runs for about an hour and a half, I think. This flashlight is almost always in my pocket, even when I'm at school and everything. Most guys will say that their most EDC item is a knife, but this is mine because I can't carry my knife at school, and this is always on me, and this comes in really handy. And I mean, I wish I could carry my knife, but just legality and everything can't. So it's going to be this. And then if it's outside of school, one thing that I always carry is my Boker plus Miltner Adams MA2. This has been on my belt ever since I got it, and normally I will be carrying either my Kershaw Leak or SOG Flash 2, but those are both in the mail for warranty right now, so kind of waiting to get those back. So that's probably my most often EDC, or the main thing that I don't go anywhere without. And then he asked if you had unlimited funds, what you would get for your EDC, and I think my next purchases are going to be 4.7s Preon 2, or Spyderco Tenacious. I don't have a Spyderco yet, and heard a lot of good stuff about it, so gonna pick one up, check it out. They're not too awfully expensive compared to some knives. And the Preon 2, I like the pin lights to carry in the pocket. I was looking at the Preon 1, but the Preon 2 is a lot brighter, and the Preon 1 compares to this, and it's a little brighter, but doesn't make too much of a deal for me because this is what I carry during the day. If it gets dark out, I'll grab my Streamlight PT2AA. But the Preon 2 is 160 out the front lumens, and my 2AA Streamlight PT2AA is only 120. So it's a 2 AAA or a flashlight, and it's 40 lumens brighter. And I haven't looked at the run timer much, but a little more expensive than the Streamlight 2. But I like the nice skinny pin light type lights, and it's easier to EDC because it carries deeper in the pocket, where the Streamlight that I've got, the PT2AA, sticks out quite a bit, leaves about an inch sticking up out of my pocket so it can get caught. So that's those are probably my next two purchases for EDC. Thanks for watching.